The M2D formula that you need to know in order to attract a woman from the meet to the date. Hi everyone, I am Apollonia Ponti. I am your dating and relationship coach for you men. To master your attraction skills, build the confidence, and overall get the dating and love life that you desire. And in today's video, I'm joined with Dan Silverman. Thanks again for joining me on another video, Dan.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome. Dan is a friend of mine and also has been in the pickup community for a very long time. But the reason why I love Dan's work is because he has a lot of authenticity to his pickup, right? He's very truthful, he's very authentic, and he's very real, and also has a big backstory about how and where he's came from in regards to overcoming approach anxiety, shyness, and things like that. So who better to talk about this than you, Dan, as a man? Dan the man. Anyways, let's get to it. So let's talk about first in regards to, this is the basics of attraction, right? So I always talk about stages of attraction, and this is the first steps of attraction. And it starts after or at the point where you meet a woman. So let's talk about the meet first, Dan.
Okay.
Take it away.
So, can I go over just the overall structure and then we'll begin on meet?
I would love for you to do that.
So a lot of guys get lost because they don't know what the heck to do. If you understand a process to get to point A to point B, it does help improve your odds of getting to the date. And there are a few things that need to be in place, and there's a path to get to that point from meet to date. So you have the approach where you've never met her in your life before, and you walk up to her and say hi or whatever it is you want to say. The approach goes into the opener. After the opener, you're trying to attempt to build attraction and also comfort. When you have those two things at sufficient levels, then you can get a date. If you cannot get that date, you get the number to try to get a date in the future. Every single approach goes through that process. Without attraction, you get friend zoned, you never hear them again. Without comfort, you're the player, she feels slutty to ever see you again. So it is very important that you have both of those things in place before you try to get the date.
Exactly.
Okay.
I love that breakdown.
All right, so we'll talk about the approach.
Yep.
Your vibe going in, your first impression, is incredibly important. Anytime you're doing an approach, the more you can seem like it just happened and that this is like totally normal for you, this is not weird or outside of the norm for you, the more comfortable she'll feel and the more likely she'll accept your approach. Are you gonna say something?
No, we did a video actually about that. So I'm gonna put it up here in the cards, how to approach women, because we grill into detail about that. So I'm glad you mentioned it. Go ahead, Dan.
All right, cool. So if you can, your vibe is so fundamentally important. It's not so much about the words you say, because you can say the silliest, goofiest shit. But if you come off really cool and authentic and chill, this just is not a big deal. Whether you're giving her a really hard, strong compliment or you're playfully making fun of her, your vibe is what's going to make you, is going to buy you the next 2 minutes, all right, to talk to her. So if it opens and it's going well, or even if it doesn't, if she's not trying to get rid of you, you can continue chatting with her. There's a period of time where it's more about attraction. So this part about attraction is you're trying to get her from, who is this guy, how long is he going to be here for, to, I don't want this guy to leave, I'm enjoying his company. Once you've got to that point, then you can transition into comfort building. The first part of building comfort is qualifying. In order for her to feel like you're not just going to try to use her for sex, or you just think that she's hot, she has to believe that you want to go out with her or see her again because of certain things about her. You don't want to be completely won over by a woman the moment that you meet her. You want her to feel like she is almost there to the point where you're making that decision that you want to see her again. Yes, you're cute, but I want to find out more. Or yeah, there's something about you I want to know, so that's why I'm going to continue talking to you. So you want to find ways to compliment her on qualities that you appreciate in a woman. If you don't know what qualities that you're looking for in a woman, then you need to do that. You need to figure out what that is so that you can use that in your qualification of the woman.
Right. I talk about that a lot. It's like a man with standards, right? And that's part of having standards, is understanding what you want. And that's one of the most attractive things as a woman going into it, because a man that naturally has standards naturally will qualify me.
Yeah, that shows that you have an abundance in your life. That shows that you're a high value male, because a guy who doesn't get any women is going to take whatever he can get. That demonstrates that you have options in your life. And women aren't going to be attracted to you unless they feel that you're that guy that could get other women, but is not necessarily like a huge player. but he sees her as someone who could potentially be very special. And she's the one that earns it to the point where she actually is special. So that whole part will not only build attraction, also build comfort. You also need to make her feel emotionally comfortable, which is time. Time spent where nothing weird happens.
Pacing yourself.
Yeah. Handling any shit tests that come her way, passing it and being totally calm, cool, and collected.
And if you want to know how to pass shit tests and escalate with women, I'm going to put here, just before you move on, because this is really important, the how to escalate cheat sheet. And I actually have a bonus in there on how to pass women's shit tests. And I actually talk about the process on how to do that, which is really, really valuable. So I encourage you to go there. Okay, Dan.
Okay, so you got to understand that when women are getting picked up, they don't know you from a hole in the wall, and they have a lot of experiences with a guy who's super, super nice and just really sensitive and gets upset easily or pissed off because she's not interested.
And that kills everything. From all the work that you've done leading up to this point, if you do that, that kills all of attraction for a woman.
Having a really solid, grounded, vibe about yourself where you don't really care where this goes, you're just going to see how it is, and if she throws shit at you, you're totally fine, you don't care, everything is playful, it's like almost like a big joke. That makes her feel very comfortable because she knows she can be herself and she doesn't feel judged, and she feels like whatever she says to you, you're not going to be like super creepy and weird and give her bad negative emotions.
Right.
The other way of building comfort is through physical comfort. It is very important that some form of touch begins. For every woman it's different. Some women really don't like being touched. And some women, you could just be giving hugs the moment that you meet them. That you will develop over the course of time. I can't get too into that because I could do like a 2-hour seminar on that. But some form of touch.
Come to our boot camp in LA and you can get some more into that because Dan will be there with me doing this.
I could give you some basic examples. So in the beginning, you might just do a shoulder touch, might give a high five, things like that. Those are really small, barely even noticeable. And then once you get to a point where she's asking you questions, she wants to get to know you better, or she's making an attempt to invest in you, that is the very first point where you can get a number and it will actually be a real number. That can generally happen between like right away to maybe 10 minutes, depending on where the woman is at. There's 2 methods of doing this. You can get lots of numbers, or you could really focus on one woman and try to turn it into an instant date. My preferred way of doing it would to really just invest in the conversation so that it's more solid. And instead of grabbing the number, I want to go on a date with her right then and there on the spot, or try to at very least make a date for her that day. She's more likely to see you again that day than if you plan something 3 days to a week in advance, because the emotions that you're creating in her in that moment will fade over time. But if you get 12 numbers in the course of 5 minutes each, you're going to get a lot of flakes, but you'll probably get one solid thing about that. But then you're playing more of a numbers game. I think that if you have a lot of severe anxiety, social anxiety, you should be trying to go for numbers game. And once you get that, you can get the numbers. So you're getting used to approaching.
I strongly agree with that. Yeah.
Once you overcome your approach anxiety, you just need to work on your general conversation skills and more deeper into the other aspects and elements of game. Then you should do the solid. However, I highly recommend that you try to go for the instant date always. Always. If you can't get her to hang out with you, like say, hey, let's go to the Starbucks right across the street, or say you meet her at Publix, go grab some chicken or whatever and hang out with her at the cafe. See if she has like 10 minutes to just hang out. Make it really low pressure. And if you can accomplish that, you're so much more likely to see her again.
And if not, I do think that it's a good thing to also go into, when you get the number, chat her up a little bit, and then make your text mean business, right? So we're not here to have a conversation. I don't believe this as well. Is you're not here to make a conversation with a woman through text. You can get to know her a little bit, have some text here and there, and then make your text mean business is to plan something. And not be that guy that takes 2 or 3 days to ask her on a date and it's just like, how's your day going? Blah, blah, blah. And we're just texting all day for 2 or 3 days straight. That's a loss of attraction, and I would never recommend that. To sum it up here too, I think it was so many valuable points here in regards to the M2D formula that we're giving you guys, and that's the meet to get a date. And meeting is so much emotion as a woman that we go through because we are very skeptical of the guy that is approaching us. Why? Because it's not the first time possibly we've been approached. We're also used to it as well because this is the natural nature of a male and feminine essence. And the biggest thing is we go through qualifying the guy. And then we go, once we qualify and we feel a connection and we feel some type of chemistry sexually or intriguing or he's funny, there's some type of endorphin rush that he has given me. Now we go into a level of, all right, is he going to make me feel comfortable? Because comfortability is the biggest avenue in order to score a relationship with a woman. And comfortability does not mean that you respect her at all times. I'm not saying that you disrespect women, but you got to focus on what you're not comfortable in. So if you are a guy that continues to respect women and does not challenge yourself to sexually or physically or even escalate verbally with women, then that's what you need to focus on, because that is going to draw comfortability as well with her. Because comfortability does not mean I feel comfortable. It's he feels comfortable with me, so now I feel more comfortable. And that's how we continue to go on the dates with guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm so happy that you guys joined us on this video. If you are in the LA area, Dan is going to be there with me, helping you guys in regards to approaching women with me, of course, too, and just really doing some pickup activities and really trying to get over your shyness and introvertedness. If you are wanting to come to the LA boot camp and you want some one-on-one time with us, we are actually going to be offering that to only a certain and selective amount of people, maybe 3 or 4 people max. And I would really encourage you to sign up for the boot camp in the description box below. You'll have the ticket there, and then email us, and it's going to be right there below at info@apolloniaponti.com if you want to spend a day with me and Dan and really approach women and get to know women as well. And we can't wait to see you there, right, Dan?
Yeah, this is going to be so much fun.
I know, it's going to be really cool. Yeah. All right, guys, so I'm so happy you joined this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.